Maliketh, the Black Blade, is a shadowbound beast, and is the shadow to Queen Marika, the Eternal. His one true duty is to protect the Rune of Death, the Rune of Death being Destined Death itself. In the lands between, the Erd Tree is a place for souls to rest. The Erd Tree is powered by those same souls. Things live, grow, and die, a cycle that has never been broken. Until one day, Queen Marika wanted a world without destined death. She didn't just want to live, grow, and die, but wanted immortality. So on that day, Marika would remove the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring itself, granting immortality not just to herself, but to all the demigods across the lands between. Hence the name Queen Marika, the Eternal. She would infuse the Rune of Death with her half-brother Maliketh's Black Blade. Maliketh was her shadow. Maliketh, Queen Marika's loyal half-brother, bore a blade imbued with destined death, and there was not one demigod who did not fear him. Souls could no longer power the Erd Tree, and the cycle was broken. Maliketh was now bound to protect the Rune of Death at all costs, for if the rune was to be stolen, the demigod's immortality would be no more. Before Maliketh was bound to protect the Rune of Death, it was being used by the Godskins. The Godskin apostles, once said to serve destined death, are wielders of the god-slaying Black Flame. But after their defeat by Maliketh, the Black Blade, the source of their power was sealed away. The true Black Flame could once slay gods, but when Maliketh sealed destined death, the true power of the Black Flame was lost. Hence why the Black Flame incantation is still in use, but not to the same degree it once was. Maliketh was charged to protect the rune by Marika and was performing his duties as he saw fit, until the Night of the Black Knives saw a group of assassins steal a fragment of the Death Rune and infuse it with their own daggers. These assassins were working with Ranni the Witch, but also had close ties with Queen Marika herself. With those same daggers, the assassins would strike and they would kill the demigod known as Godwyn. Maliketh was a shadowbound beast given to his Empyrean. Marika's sole need of her shadow was a vessel to lock away destined death. Even then, she betrayed him. The assassins that carried out the deeds of the Night of the Black Knives were all women and rumoured to be Newmen who had close ties to Marika herself. As the evidence compiles, we are left to wonder, why did Marika betray her own? A mystery yet to be resolved. Godwyn's death was the first recorded death of a demigod in all of history, and it became the catalyst, and soon the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprung forth the war known as the Shattering.
What could the demigods ever hope to win by warring?
Maliketh's Black Blade, which once harboured the power of the Rune of Death, a sad shadow of its former glory. After a fragment of death was stolen on that fateful night, Maliketh bound the blade within his own flesh, such that none might ever rob death again. In his own shame, Maliketh would become Gurunk, beast, clergyman, and would bound his black blade to his own flesh, so no one would steal the rune again. But in doing so, he made himself eternally hungry for Deathroot.
More. I am not sated. Feed me more. Death.
Deathroot, a source that gives rise to those who live in death. On the night of the dire plot, the stolen Rune of Death enabled the first death of the demigod. Later, the Rune of Death spread across the lands between, through the underground roots of the great tree, sprouting in the form of Deathroot. I feel its stench on you, death, feed it to me. He was now deformed and an eternally hungry creature that had become the manifestation of death itself. Long ago, Gronk was the beast of such terrifying ferocity that his former name meant death of the demigods. Gronk could also be found howling in the night, and some see this as his starvation and depravity on full display, but others see the howling as a message to his sworn leader, Marika. Later on in the Tarnished journey, in the crumbling Farumazula, we can find a beast clergyman, and the beast clergyman states he will not have it stolen from him again, of course referring to the Rune of Death.
Thou approachest destined death. I will not have it stolen from me.
But if the Tarnish was to feed Gronk the beast clergyman with all 9 death roots, the beast would vanish, and a different response can be heard upon the meeting in the arena within Farumazula. The clergyman will recognize the Tarnished.
Tarnished? Why wouldst thou? Why? 'Tis no matter. Hereby found. The distant death
And upon killing the clergyman, he will once again reunite the Rune of Death with his black blade, and will transform into his true self, the one that was feared across the lands. Maliketh, the Black Blade, would come alive once again. Upon killing the Black Blade, he would ask the Tarnish why. Why covet Destined Death? To kill what? But again, if the Tarnish are to feed the 9 death root to Gronk, a different set of final words can be heard. In a saddening realization, even in his final breath, he was bound to his queen, Marika the Eternal. Maliketh the Black Blade was no more.
The Rune of Death is unbound. And the lands between are shrouded by death's dark fate. But the flames will also burn the impenetrable thorns. Farewell it is then. You'll be Elden Lord yet.
Wow, what a fascinating character, guys. Thanks again for checking out another one of my Elden Ring lore videos. I really appreciate the support, you subscribing, leaving a like, and doing all that jazz. Absolutely love it. Again, for anyone asking where I get this information from, this is all from within the game. From armor set pieces, from storytelling within cutscenes, to storytelling within the environment, to different dialogue options, quests. It's all within the game. You can find it yourself, and you might find something a little bit extra that I haven't included. Please leave it in the comments below if you do. And again, it's been my pleasure to serve you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Plenty more to come. Hopefully quicker this time. I know it's been a few days. I'm going to get them out as quick as possible. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.